We believe in serving others, fighting for gender equality.
Hello and a very warm welcome to this special broadcast on News Mobile. I'm Saurav Sanyal, and joining me today are four exceptional women. Meet the Kung Fu nuns. That's right. They are nuns who essentially have been working far removed from the public eye for good of the people and the community around. Now, when you think of monks and when you think of nuns, the stereotypical image that comes in our mind is that people who are praying with deep devotion in monasteries. Well, the four exceptional women you see with me today on the broadcast do that and much, much more. They are Himalayan Buddhists and belong to the Drukpa lineage of Buddhism. And they have been carrying out exceptionally remarkable work when it comes to gender sensitization, spreading awareness about the environment, talking about women's rights, and essentially empowerment of women. They have been moving across the Himalayan kingdom from Nepal to Ladakh in India, crisscrossing treacherous terrains during the course of their journey to try and reach out to each and every individual in each and every nondescript pocket that they come across in different villages in the Himalayan region to spread the message of love and peace. Thank you so much. It's an absolute delight to have all of you with me today. Let me get started by taking the first question to you, Jigme Yeshi Lamo. Uh, I would want to ask you, just tell us a bit about your journey and the name Kung Fu Nuns. I'm sure by now a lot of our viewers would want to know, what's behind this name.
Hello, this is Isha and I am from Himachal. I became a nun when I was 16 years old, and then I came to Nepal to learn about Buddhism. And Kung Fu Nuns is actually a name to us because we started doing Kung Fu and we are nuns. But behind that, we are doing a lot many things, as you have told before, that we are doing cycling, we are doing many environment work and like rescuing animals. And this is one of the title we got, like many people in India, they know us as cycling nuns also, because there is name title, no? But Kung Fu Nuns is because we are the first nuns to do Kung Fu. That's why everyone call us as Kung Fu Nuns.
Okay, Kung Fu Nuns. Now, Jigme Konchok Lamo, I would want to ask you that, why Kung Fu, a martial art form? What is it that prompted you, and how is it that you are spreading this tool of empowerment to women and to little girls and women of different ages across the Himalayan kingdom? If you could just tell us a brief about that.
All the viewers, I hope everyone enjoys watching this recording, I would say, as we cannot meet personally. It's a virtual recording, so we are sending love to everyone around the world. As you said, Kung Fu, because first when Kung Fu was introduced to our nunnery, it was like, do you want to do Kung Fu, and why, our root guru, the Gyalwang Drukpa, when he first introduced Kung Fu to us, we were all very excited to do, and it was something that nuns had never done. So it was very empowering for us too. And after learning Kung Fu for a few years, we started understanding that it's been giving us confidence. We have been gaining confidence, physical strength, internal strength, So our mental health was getting better and better. Our physical health was getting better and better. So we thought that what we learned from it, we will spread out to the girls. We started with Ladakh. We started with Himalayas, because most of us are from Himalayas. So we started to teach girls self-defense so that they can defend themselves when they need to defend themselves. So it was it was really introduced to us as a physical, breaking a barrier of what you cannot do or what the world thinks you can do as a nun, So we broke that barrier, but not only breaking that barrier, but we got lots of confidence and physically strong, mentally strong. So we thought that we should take this out to all the women, all the girls around the world.
So you talked about breaking the barrier, and when we talk of breaking the barrier, I would want to ask Jigme Migyur Pamo, uh, just help us understand where does this breaking the barrier come from? Because as she pointed out, nuns and kung fu don't quite go hand in hand. That is not the stereotypical image that we have when we think of nuns and monks. You have completely shattered the glass ceiling, as it were. Just take us through. What was your journey like? Like, was there kind of obstacles that you faced in your journey when you decided to take up this path, or was it like very easy going? And when you reach out to people now with this message, empower them with kung fu skills, do you face any obstacles on the ground as well?
In the beginning, many people commented that you are a nuns, you have to sit in one place, do meditation, you can't do kung fu, you can't go to cycling yatra, you can't change the ropes to cycle dresses or kung fu dresses. That are the barriers which that is inside our inside our mind, that something that we can't do. That is not true, I think, because uh, for example, like mass dance, and in our society there are mass dance and many lots of things which nuns cannot do till now. But here in our nunnery we can do everything. Like, we want to inspire others that once we committed to do, we can do it. The barriers and the mindsets that's from many years, people are thinking that this nuns cannot do this, nuns cannot do that. But we want to show others that we can do, if we do, and if there's unity, and if we try to do, because since many years we didn't do it. Nobody dared to learn kung fu as a nuns. Nobody dared to ride bicycles as a nun. But we, as a kung fu nun, started this. We know that there are lots of obstacles, and there are lots of people still complaining that why we are doing these things. But still we want to, we are a nun, but we want to help others in different other things, not only meditation, but in this situation, in this 21st century, prayers is not enough. That's why we are doing lots of social works.
Yes, absolutely. I would want to ask Jigme Yeshe once again that, let's talk about how you're taking your work to the world outside. You come from the Himalayan region. You are, many of you are spread in Nepal, like all four of you are now joining me from Kathmandu. Some of you are in Nepal, some of you are in Ladakh, some of you are in other parts in Himachal Pradesh as well. Having said that, Kung Fu Nuns has also traveled abroad. Tell us about your journey and the landmarks or the milestones that you would say when you have taken this message abroad.
As you told us that we have Kung Fu nuns are all over the world, not only in Ladakh or not only in Himachal and Nepal, but they are all like many different places, Bhutan, in Darjeeling, and then we have like board inside of it. And then when we go to other places, every year we travel to different countries, different villages, and we do cycling. Sometimes we do walking yatras, like we go to pilgrimage to give our messages. And sometimes we go to other countries also. So first, when they first reaction of them when they see us, they say, "Oh, we heard about Kung Fu nuns," but it's like a strange feeling for us to see Kung Fu nuns like this. We always thought nuns like sitting very shy, calm, and like they don't talk. They are not allowed to do this. They are not allowed to do it. So, or that what we told you, that barriers, everything that is in their mind. So that's what we want to break at first, to think that. So we just give our messages that we do many social activism, like rescuing animals, and like doing kung fu for others to get fit, and like not only fit, to keep a very high mindset. So whenever we give our messages to them, first they don't agree, or they feel like a nun is talking about it, it must be something only Buddhist thing, or they will only talk about meditation. So when we go out of it and talk about something which everyone talks now, and which everyone says that helping others, but we explain them that helping others is our religion. It's not like Buddhists have something else to do. And when we talk about helping others, our our prayers are also for helping others, but we feel that with time we have to change. So it's 24th century, so we have to go with that. So like we go out and work with that. We talk, we give talks, we give self-defense, and then we do interviews like this. So it's something new for us. And from like from my view, I came from Himalayan countries, and when I go outside of Himalayan countries, it's a new like new things for us too. We also learn something new from them. So it's like take and give thing. They learn about us and we learn from them.
But for our viewers, I must just also add one anecdote, going by what she has said, that she's also represented the lineage at the Obama town hall event, which happened in New Delhi. So where again, the work and worship motto of Kung Fu nuns was showcased to the world. Jigme Konchuk, I would want to ask you that, you represented the Kung Fu nuns at the Reuters Trust conference in London as well. Now, when you travel abroad, one thing that globally people are now concerned about is, environment and climate change. They're talking of global warming. Now, through your yatras that you undertake, be it the cycle yatra, be it the pada yatra, you also try to raise awareness as far as people are concerned about the need to protect the environment, and why a green and a clean environment is the need of the hour. Just help us understand, how do you go about with your work in spreading awareness about the environment?
See, in this like 21st century world, everyone has a phone, a smartphone. Everyone has access to internet. Everyone is highly educated. Everyone talks about it, I would say. When we were in London, I was very shocked to know that women weren't given equal chances in London, in America. I was very shocked, really. I never thought that way. But I think the issue about women is everywhere the same. And like you said, the environmental and global warming problem is everywhere in the world. Each nook and corner of the world, it's there. And I think what people need to do is, from what we do, I think is we show them by example, because we think that action speaks louder than words. Because just talking about it, when you don't do it, I don't think it's that inspiring. I don't think people take you that seriously, because everyone is reading about the environment or the global warming on the internet all the time. Everyone has to say something about it. But I'm not saying there aren't people doing anything about it. There are many people who are doing a lot about global warming, who are doing a lot for the environment. And I think we should go and join their hands. From our experience, when we are on Padyatra is like a walking journey. We walk for like a month and a half or something like that every year when we are not in lockdown. So we always walk for like 600 to 700 kilometers. We always choose to go to the remote areas where people don't know about these things, don't know about non-biodegradable stuff. They don't know about what plastic is doing, and they don't have that much education and access to education. We show them by examples. We start picking up garbage everywhere we go. We have our own sacks with tags and on it, and then we are picking garbage. And then people come and ask us, like, why are you doing this? You are wearing red clothes. You are like nuns or monks. They call us monks because they don't know we are nuns. They call us monks. What are you doing? They are curious about it. And once we make them understand, this is the reason, this is important, and this is what future is depending on. When we make the people understand that, they understand it very well, I would say. And that's how we show them by example from our way of doing it. And when we go for cycle yatras, we go on cycles and we tell them that it's not I don't know why people have this mindset where they think that cycle is for poor people. Cycling is just for poor people. Rich people should go in cars, luxurious cars. You should have a car. but it's not true. We try and convey this message that cycling is for your health, cycling is for the environment, cycling is something you can do when you're free, and you don't have to take such long journeys. For short journeys they can use cycling and stuff.
Absolutely. So, just in a nutshell, if you were to sum this up now as we wrap up this discussion, there's so many things that you're trying to do and you have been able to achieve. But I see that, it's like, as you said, the problems, possibly the geography might be different, but the problems are very much the same. And the way that we reach out to people to communicate it, to make them understand what the gravity of the situation is, I think that is what the fulcrum really is in the middle of all this. As I wrap this up, I just want to ask one thing from each of you. Let me start with Jigme sharing. I would want to ask you now, you being a part of Kung Fu Nuns, how has it changed your life? One sentence, if you were to just explain that to me in one sentence.
I really wanted to be like the nuns, Drukpa nuns, and so when I became a nun, it was very difficult for me to be like them, in everything. Like we have to get up early in the morning. Like we have to get up 3 o'clock, and it was very difficult for me. And we don't have to eat a dinner.
Yes, so a strong sense of self-discipline is what is inculcated with different situations that we come across. Migyur, if you could just tell me one thing about being a Kung Fu nun, what excites you in one word?
Like Kung Fu nuns, I learned that I built up my confidence, I must say, because when I was not became a nun, I was a shy girl, and I don't like to talk much, and I always like to stay alone and keep calm. But I learned many things as a Kung Fu nun. If we feel shy and stay in one place, we can't benefit others. If we talk and if we do lots of other things, then we can help others. So I learned being a nun, doing meditation, plus if we do social work, that is more affected in these days.
And I must be very, very honest. I have learned myself over the course of the last 20 minutes that we have been interacting. I have learned so much from all of you. I would take my last question to both you, Jigme Yeshe and Jigme Konchok. If you could just tell me, Kung Fu Nuns, how would you want to carry this message forward? What is your vision of taking this forward?
I would say that when you want to do something from your heart, even if you are a girl or a boy or a grown-up man and a grown-up lady, a woman, I think what you think you want to do, you can always achieve. I think people talk about the change and they always say, we want to change this, we want to change that. I think, but we are the change. If we don't begin changing ourselves,
Fantastic.
if we don't begin changing ourselves, I don't think there would be a change.
Fantastic. Ma'am, you.
As they all talked about it, same things, but I also want to say that, like, everyone, whatever they do, they always see someone else as a hero. They will do something for the world. But for us, as being a Kung Fu nun, I think that we are our own hero. We have to be our own hero, do something. So we don't have to wait for someone else to come and rescue us. So if we have willingness, we can do anything. There is nothing we can't do. So it's up to you.
I think that's a beautiful note to end this discussion on, that we have to believe in ourselves, whoever we are. If we have that conviction and that self-belief, nothing is impossible to achieve. I must thank all of you for joining me on this show, and I wish you all the very best from News Mobile family as you trudge along. And so you are the silent ambassadors, as I would call you, silent ambassadors of not just peace and love, but ambassadors of empowerment, ambassadors who are essentially change makers in the real sense of the term. Thank you for joining me on this very special broadcast on News Mobile. Hope to catch up with you very soon once we are out of this coronavirus pandemic shadow. Thank you.